we can start by, let's print multiple things. As you see here, I've got all of this code, but we actually only get, let's have a look at this one. So we have all of these maths things, so we're only actually printing out the last thing. But then when I started here and I printed a bunch of stuff, we got multiple things. And actually, I'm going to jump across to the other file we're using today. I've got a little one set up here, print 1 plus 1. We can use that to print something. If I just do 1 plus 1 in here, look down here. Actually, you don't get anything at all. We could do, you know, as many lines as 1 plus 1 as we want, and we still get nothing out because it just does the maths and doesn't speak up about it. So it's not until we print something in our actual Python file that we actually start to get something printed out. And it just happens that in our Jupyter Notebook, the IPYNB file, that it's kind of made for playing around with, so it just prints out the last thing that was calculated. So that's why it does it, but actually you don't get that by default. So good. The next thing we need to know about is print, but we're going to go to Jack, who has come up with a suggestion about why we would want to use multiplying things, multiplying strings. He says, if I'm running a lot of tests, but I particularly care about the output of one section, I might print multiple hashes like you did there to make it easier to find. And I do that a lot. Actually, I should be doing what Jack's doing because I'm just writing out all these hashes by hand or like dollar signs or some random symbol so I can easily spot it. But I should just be doing multiply the symbol. Genius idea there from Jack. So thank you for that comment, Jack. What else have we got coming up? We're going to do printing multiple things because we don't want to just have one thing printed. We want to have a lot of things coming out some of the time. Well, lots of the time. If your program just does one thing on the screen, it might be a little lackluster if that's not what you want from your program. So we are going to talk about printing. And what we're going to print is just kind of what we've been doing above. You can just print out anything here. Like this. You might want to print out, say hello to Jack in the comments. And let's even add it together. So you can add, so print is just a function. And what that means is you have print and then you have some brackets that butt up right against it. So let's actually look at the empty case. So that's the function as it is. And that would print a blank line, which is this empty line here. And we can put stuff in it. So we've printed hello Jack because we've given it one argument. This looks like 2, but actually, as we saw above, we can do this thing here. So this is a line of code that can execute. And just like that, it's going to execute that code and then it's going to pass it to the function. So that becomes hello Jack as one string, as these are called. The things in quotes here are strings. And that's just a string of characters. They can be letters, numbers, or symbols, even emoji, and could go in there as well. And that's our one argument to our print function here. So then let's put something back in here so we can see both lines, get print hello. But we can also do, we could do this instead. So we've got hello and then we've got Jack. So you can actually give multiple arguments to print, like here. We've got hello and Jack, and it will add the space for us. Oh, no, we've got extra spaces now. So here we go. We've got Jack without a space in front. We had to put it in here because otherwise it doesn't put it in automatically. We put that like this. We'll see. Get hello Jack, or we get hello Jack with the space in it. Because you can put multiple arguments into your print function. We could keep adding things. How are you doing? And we could have, you know, I don't know, a bunch of, as we said, we could have a bunch of whatever we want. Let's do some multiplication. We could have, and $4 signs. So that's, we can add, keep on going and keep adding things into our print function with commas to separate them. So yeah, that is print, super handy function. What else do we want to know about print though? I've only got one other fun thing about print, and it's actually, it's what we call an optional argument. And I'm going to put it up here. And this is, you can, it's a keyword argument. And I'm going to say, we're going to end with, I don't know, we always want to end with So normally it always ends the line with an enter, but we could say we're going to always end with a bunch of @ symbols instead for this line. So you've seen, instead of doing a new line, it's given us all these @ symbols. We could also get rid of that, and we could have it just say, we're going to end the line with nothing. So it normally ends the line with a blank new line, with a new line character, which would be \n. So we can set it back to default if we did that, or just get rid of this entirely. That's my fun tidbit, which is occasionally very useful for things.